Good morning, world. Hey, look at this. Ooh, look at that. Look at that sexy man. Oh, my goodness. I need a haircut, I guess. Either that, I'm just going to let it grow long. I haven't decided yet. Oh, the sun is shining today. Oh, my God. I can't see. It's so bright. The sun's so bright. I need to wear shades. Oh, my goodness. It is a beautiful morning. Beautiful morning. A little chilly. Not too bad. I'm out here in my well, hell, I don't have my flip side shirt on, but I'm out here in a t-shirt, sleeveless t-shirt. Well, I say sleeveless. Yeah. It's got little short sleeves and shorts and some little ankle socks and my Jesus sandals. Oh, got my coffee. Coffee, good. Oh, and figured I'd tell y'all a couple little stories. I say stories, they're true events that happened in my life, but uh, I don't know what I'll call this episode. This will be a lot of segments, but I'm going to talk about the first two teachers in my life. Had a elementary teacher, and apparently I'd probably suffered from ADD or ADHD or something. I don't know. My parents, they filled the houses and the cars full of smoke, and I had lung issues, so I'm sure I was hyper. I was a hyper kid, and it seemed like every single day. And I grew up in Aledo. I've told you all this, but it seemed like every single day that my kindergarten teacher would grab me up either by the arm or the ear and drag me from one end of the school to the other, which was elementary school there in Aledo. And our elementary classroom was all the way at one far corner away from the office that had the nurses station and the principal and all that other stuff, which was all the way at the other end of the building. I don't know. There was a big cafeteria in the middle with a stage and all that other stuff, and uh, big foyer for sitting and watching the stage or eating, during our breakfast and lunches and stuff like that. But she would literally drag me by either my arm or my ear. I think a lot of cases my ear. Um, from the classroom all the way to the principal's office. I can't remember if I got pops in kindergarten. I don't remember that. I remember I've got pops quite a bit from that principal, but it was quite hilarious because for some unknown reason, and I don't know why, I don't remember why it was. A group of us, maybe it was the whole kindergarten class, ended up over at my kindergartner's teacher's house for some sort of event. I don't know what it was. I don't know why we were over there specifically, but I always was looking around, looking at things, and I looked down in her yard right beside her driveway, and I found her wedding ring that she had lost, and I gave that to her. And from that point on, for the rest of our lives, or for the rest of her life, that's the only thing she remembers. Every time she's ever seen me in my 44 years. Yes, I'm an old man. Uh, that's the story she remembers, is the story of when I found her lost wedding ring. And of course, subsequently, she never grabbed me up by the ear or the arm and took me down to the principal's office again after that. So apparently, I was more manageable and easier to deal with after that. Well, that's one story. My first grade teacher, she was a hard ass. She was a hard ass. Apparently, my father couldn't show up for some kind of after school event, meet the teacher night, or see what the kids are doing night, or I don't know, whatever the hell different kinds of events they have in elementary school, after school for the parents. And I think I came to class that next day, and the teacher got on to me for it, and I was a little upset. I was upset probably because she got on to me. Hell, I was what, 6 years old maybe, and so she took and put a pacifier that she had on a piece of yarn around my neck, and put me in my seat, and made me suck on it during the entire class, and belittled and berated me the entire day, calling me a baby and all these other things, and which devastated. It truly devastated me. It made me become truly introverted after that for a long time. Of course, I'd already gotten to the point that was pretty much the kicker, where I didn't trust adults any longer. Didn't trust teachers. Didn't trust my own parents. My mother, of course. I've told you the story about that. That was just one story, with the Hot Wheels track. But um, I told my mother. I went ahead and told my mother about it. And she went up there and she talked to the principal and said, "Hey, you better pull my son out of that class." And the principal told her, "No, no, no. Don't pull your child out of that class. Just leave him in there and I'll keep an eye on him." Do you think that principal was in that classroom every day keeping an eye on me? Absolutely not. That teacher continued to berate me and treat me like crap uh, throughout that entire class year. But, that's neither here nor there. That was when I truly became, within myself, closed off to the rest of the world. I just sit around. I didn't give a care about school any longer. I didn't care about classwork. I didn't care about. I didn't trust teachers. I didn't trust them at all. I didn't trust adults. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I think it's a bad thing in retrospect. But it did give me one thing. It made me able to sit back and listen and watch. And that's what I did a lot. I became a thinker after that. I would sit back, listen, watch, and everybody else, all the other students, the teachers, and a lot of other things. And it was also shortly after that when my mother started taking me to, uh, I guess, because they noticed a change in my behavior, they started taking me to uh, psychological evaluation places and stuff like that, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And subsequently, they put me in what was called a resource class. They put me in there for mathematics and English, and at a young age, I think it was probably about my third grade, second or third grade, and it was real quick after they put me in resource for English and mathematics that they realized that my math skills were not in question. I just didn't care. I didn't care to do the work. I didn't trust teachers. And it took a few good teachers after that. Matter of fact, my very first resource teacher was a good teacher. We'll talk about other resource teachers, especially my last one, in another episode. But I'm going to go ahead and end this. This is getting long. It's almost 10 minutes long. And so we've talked about uh, my kindergarten teacher. We talked about my first grade teacher. Uh, really, we talked about my first resource teacher. She was a good teacher. She actually tried to teach me things. But that's it for today, guys. I truly do love each and every one of you. Truly and deeply, I do. From the bottom of my heart. Carpe diem. And as always, catch you on the flip side. Ha ha!